Hi, everybody. Welcome to AITA Pod. I'm Danny Vega, joined by the inimitable Shano D.
That's me.
And today,
We are joined by writer, actor, and host whose work has been featured on Comedy Central's Money Moves and Full Frontal with Samantha Bee. He has his own podcast called Spiritual Asshole. You know, we love that. He takes a deep man bun free dive into all facets of modern spirituality, covering everything from meditation, astrology, yoga, Baby Yoda, old Yoda, and angry teenage Yoda. The podcast gets to the core of what's truly spiritual and what's just an asshole. Please welcome Brendan Fitzgibbons.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say right away, thank you so much for this cup. Like, you did a great job.
We got him some water, some sink water.
Being really
It was
consistent
sink
with
water.
the theme of this, give me sink water and a gas station cup that Danny probably stole from.
I didn't steal
From
it.
the
I
gas
paid a great
station.
price for donuts, ice cream, hot dogs, cigarettes. I said I need a lot of cups for guests. I don't have a dishwasher.
Well, we all know that Danny does not believe that Brita filters actually work. He has admitted that on the pod. So
Yeah.
even if it was Brita,
Yeah.
it would have just been sink water anyway because he doesn't change his filters.
So that's like a filter from 07.
I've never changed a filter.
from
yeah.
the college
Is
days.
this the Bush years?
Yeah, it's a Bush filter.
Yeah,
I've got a
I get
Clinton.
it.
My buddy's got a Clinton. He's going to give it to me when he's done. So,
Yeah, tell him how you met.
crazy thing.
Wow.
My first speed dating experience
Wow.
with Kimia dating.
Oh,
Kimia?
Kamea.
Kamea.
Do you know her?
Sorry.
Yeah, we had her on the pod.
She's great.
Yeah.
Evgenia on the
Yeah,
pod.
do you know her
No.
besides that?
No, I just kept asking her questions and she's like, oh, stop.
Who the hell is
You
this
asked her too many
guy?
questions.
I asked a lot of questions.
So how did you get involved with the speed
I got a
dating
private
event?
DM on IG.
Oh.
Wow.
And I was like,
Evgenia?
Because you're a catch.
yeah, I think it was. It was the
right.
overall vibe. I have a lot of photos with my dog. You know how that goes.
Yes, yes.
Guaranteed to
You
get-
were the
Guaranteed
belle of the
to
ball at the
swipe
speed
right.
dating event.
I had a good time,
Really?
but I will tell you this, dude. A year and a half ago moved here and I did a speed dating event in downtown. It was horrific.
Oh.
Half the people didn't show up.
Oh no.
A woman on my speed dating that I talked to, she was FaceTiming her friend the whole time
Ooh.
because she was lost. And she's like, no, by the Walgreens. Make a left. And I'm sitting across from her. She's like, no, keep going. And I'm like, hi.
Wait, so the friend was lost?
Yeah, but
Trying
she's
to
in
get to
front
the
of me
event?
on this.
Was she trying to get to the event?
Yeah, she's trying to get to the event. And it was very similar to kind of what happened with us. The only person I bonded with was another dude because he didn't have a date at one of the points and I didn't either. So we're sitting diagonal from each other and I'm
Yeah.
just like, hey man, how are you? And then I was like, I think we're supposed to hang out. And that was
Yeah.
it.
Wait,
So
me?
they
But this,
were like-
who was this? This was another
This
guy?
was a hotter version of you.
I thought I was the guy for you at that event. What the fuck?
No, this event was a year and a half ago.
Oh, that was at the downtown event.
Yeah, no, for sure. We hit
You
it
didn't
off.
go on a
hardcore.
date with the fitness girl?
Which one was the
She
fitness?
liked you.
Which one was the fitness girl?
She was the one we were talking to at the end. She was very vivacious and fun. She
I
was
think
like a
I
real
said I
estate-
wanted to go on a date with her, and I think she did not reciprocate, which is really
That's
fun.
happened to me dozens of times now. That
It's
So
a
did
weird
you get
thing.
Any matches?
I didn't get a match. I went on one date.
Oh, you
Okay.
did? From that
Danny
event?
did not.
Yeah,
get
it was
any
with Danny,
matches.
yeah.
I didn't get any matches. Yeah, we're on a date right now.
and Danny-
Oh, I'm crashing your day.
Me and
crashing
Danny
a date.
went to an open mic, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
No, we went on a date at an open mic. Yeah, I went on one date with.
You
a
went
girl.
on one date
You did.
from that batch of girls?
Yes.
Oh, which one was it? Don't say their name. Just give us the.
I don't remember.
That's fair.
Remember anything about her?
Hopefully she's not watching this. No, it was
No,
a good.
if you
It was a
are.
good. It was a good date. Honestly, it was.
Oh, okay, good.
It just like I don't know. It just didn't feel
was
like
there a
it-
second date?
there
Just
was
one?
going to be, and it just fit. You know those dates when they just disappear into the dust.
Sometimes it's a
Yes, that's
oneer.
all.
The oneer. It was a oneer.
It's a oneer.
and it was no one's at fault when it's a oneer.
No,
Man.
no fault oneer. It's a thing.
No fault oneer is fantastic.
So you're actually a bit of an inspiration
Thank
to
you.
me recently. I don't know if you know, I started a weekly show here in Echo Park.
No way.
First show is, and I have been citing your show because I thought of it. And that's why I connected with you at the speed dating event. You were like a celebrity to me. I was like, I know you, you don't know me.
From New York.
From New York.
Which is actually same with you and I. Remember, I knew you and you didn't know me?
Absolutely. I'm
From
your
your
Brendan.
holidays.
And Brendan is my Brendan.
Because I knew him from a stand-up show.
Oh wow, awesome.
Yeah. And now the mystique and allure is gone. Now I'm Shannon's enemy.
Yeah,
But that's fair.
exactly.
But you at your show
Yeah.
would you guys, everybody knew you there. That was my perception. Fair? It was called
Yeah.
Gandhi, Is That You?
I would say so. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, when you produce a show, it's your show.
But what I was inspired by is that everybody knew you. And I remember that you guys would host the show, but then you would also do like, you would just tell stories at the end. And it was very casual and it felt more like a community. And that was
let me stop you there and
okay,
tell you
so
what was going on.
Okay, let's
By
hear
stories at the end. Stories at the end, actually, what that meant was Lance Weiss would go up, my co-host.
Yeah.
And he would take questions from the audience anywhere in between 20 and 40 minutes. And we're now in hour 3 of this stand-up show. No stand-up show should be longer than 2 hours.
Oh, it wasn't you. It was only him.
And that's a problem if it's longer.
Yeah,
So like I have had many Wednesday nights in New York City where it's 11:20.
Your show
and
was
I'm
on
just
Wednesday
like-
night. My show's on Wednesday
There we
night.
go.
You're my inspiration.
And I was just like, Lance, stop asking questions. Get off stage. But yeah,
Like a Q&A?
Yeah, you'd have a full Q&A with the audience.
About
and it would
like
go on
his own life?
forever. Yeah.
And it wasn't you ever. It was only him indulging.
No,
at
like
the end.
I do a lot of crowd
It was
work, like
you
I talk,
sometimes.
but it was mostly Lance Weiss. And I will put him on blast
Wow,
fully
Lance.
right now. And he knows that this is true. But no,
if
it was a
anyone
great
has
show.
any questions, DM at
Yeah, at Lance Weiss. He'll be more
Crazily
than
enough,
happy.
I ran into you at speed dating, and then I saw, and we talked about Lance. You said you guys haven't really spoken that much. And then I seen Lance in my Instagram with one of my good friends who lives in Pittsburgh, and they're both bald, doing a bald show
Yep.
together.
Oh,
No,
what?
just resurfaced. He's back, baby. It seems like, which is great.
And you and I both have hair. Just saying.
Oh,
just saying.
just throwing
Could
that
be a
Should we do a
partnership.
show? Should we do
Brown hair.
What's your Echo Park show?
It's called Pressed Jokes. Everybody should come. Wednesdays at
It's at a
6:30.
juice shop.
6:30. Are you
Glowing
worried?
Eatery. They have plant-based food as well. but
Did
yes,
you
and juice.
6:30? Did you want it? Were you worried that was 6 o'clock was too early? Why'd you pick 6:30?
Well, 6:30 doors, 7 show.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Can I come at 5?
Well,
Absolutely.
if you say that you're going to be there at 5, you'll probably be there at 5:30. If I know you.
I know.
He was late
Oh,
today,
the
folks,
traffic.
okay?
I was super late today.
I'm in traffic.
Sorry, dude. I really.
Yeah, that's called LA. There's always traffic.
I caught it.
No. You are forgiven.
Thank you.
Well, I heard on your podcast that you have a comedy album.
It's coming out
Ooh.
soon.
Yeah,
exciting.
what's the deal
Really
with
exciting.
that?
So I recorded a comedy album last October at the Ice House in Pasadena.
Oh, yes, I do know that.
And then my friend is fixing the video right now. So God bless her.
We love that. Everyone has a friend like that.
We need friend fixers.
Yeah, what is she just
You-
adding laugh tracks?
She's adding like, the sound from the Apollo to make it sound like I'm just kidding. People are standing up and high-fiving, hugging each
You know,
other.
I actually did do that one time.
You stood up?
So, because I used to do stand up back in the day, and on my Actors Access, it's like where you can put your
Yeah.
clips.
You sweetened.
So they wanted me to put up a clip of me doing stand up because there's like, shows out there that are about stand up and stuff.
Yeah.
Or where they need a character that can do stand up. And I wanted to do my one clip that I thought like I really did kill. It's like such a good routine, but it's about Jesus. And it's not like really negative about him or anything, but my manager was just like, I don't think this is a good idea. Like, you never know with casting if they're religious, they like hear something, whatever.
Yeah.
So then I did my other clip, which is really good, but the crowd was lighter than the other crowd. So
But Danny has that pro Hitler bit he puts up all the time.
You do.
Don't bring up that bit. No, he's joking. Guys.
No, you were so funny. You were so funny at the event because you kept being like, dude, I'm so problematic.
Oh my god!
Oh boy,
yeah,
watch it. We got to be careful on this pod. There's a lot of people ready to cancel.
No, but
me.
but you kept saying that, and that's how I knew you weren't, though. That's why I'm bringing it up. An actual problematic person doesn't say that they're problematic.
they're not aware.
They're like, no, I'm cool, and then they say crazy shit. That's why I knew you weren't actually problematic.
I cross lines. You gotta call me out, and then I listen and I learn. But I will invariably
about learning.
cross
Learn.
personal lines, international conflict lines, any kind of line that's there. I will find it, and I'll put my toe over it in a weird, like Shannon-esque way. Like Shannon puts
Yeah.
her feet up on airplanes. I'll do that.
Oh yeah.
To
Have
the
you guys
line.
ever been driving in the South and you're like, thank God we're past that Mason-Dixon line? Do you guys ever feel that way?
I don't get that reference.
You don't know
What's the Mason-Dixon line?
It's the line that like separated the North from the South.
Oh,
Big
so if
deal.
you were driving southward?
Yeah.
Oh, I pictured east-westward.
I'm just saying, people used to talk about the Mason-Dixon line and nobody, I don't know why that's a thing.
The Mason.
It's actually a lot more north than you would expect.
Oh, really?
I think it's like through Maryland.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that sounds
I think
right.
there's a little bit of it in Delaware.
Oh my
Well, now I'm
God. It's
curious.
going
Look
up
at where
there.
we're going with this. You guys never thought.
No,
we were
I
gonna
love
do
a good Mason-Dixon
a good
reference.
geography. Let's do it.
I'm so stupid that I was like, yeah, that's related to Winn-Dixie. I don't know why that brought me to Winn-Dixie.
Oh, the grocery store?
The
I guess just 'cause
Mason-Dixon line,
Yeah.
is actually all of Maryland. And then it does go south, and Delaware is
Cuts off.
north of it. It cuts up.
Wow. So DC was, well,
DC was below. Anywho.
I mean, I'll say this. This, I think, is where I can go with this. I have not done any shows in the South. I'd be afraid to, frankly.
No.
I have
You?
Yeah,
zeroed.
a ton.
Oh, okay.
You'd
Yeah.
be fine.
I've
Look at
hard
you. You're so
zeroed
white.
in, what's it called? Kansas City or some random city in Kansas. Hard zeroed. Brutal. My opener did kind of throw the room.
Well, Kansas actually, according to the Mason-Dixon line, is north.
There we go.
So you've done shows in the South. That's
Actually, a
interesting.
ton. And I did one in Georgia with Lance in his hometown. And I performed in front of the biggest American flag you've ever seen in your life.
Wow, that's
And I got on stage. I was like, what country do you guys like? I was like, and they didn't get it. I was like, totally.
They didn't get it.
They didn't get it. They were like, what? And I was like, are you guys, I can't tell. Like,
Yeah.
what are you guys into?
Yeah.
It's not that different, really. Like, living in New York, because you live there, right?
Yeah. Remember I went to your show.
that's how we
You
met.
forgot already?
And in New York, you could do shows like in Harlem and then do a like hipster show in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
That is two different countries, man.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. And that's just how I feel about the South too. Like, I've never had crazy like
Oh, yeah.
racism or like is the way that people think.
Well, actually, that's the same with New Jersey. Like, when you go really far south, it's
Yeah.
like the boondocks. Like, they literally, I'm not even joking, have Southern accents. I had friends
crazy.
from down
Jersey.
there. Yeah, and they were from Dividing Creek, and they called it Dividing Crick. And they legitimately
Crick.
had Southern accents.
I want to come on this podcast to do one thing and one thing only. I'm trying to bring back or institute the phrase upstate California. No one says it here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
they
in.
don't.
No one says
support it.
upstate, dude.
It's NorCal.
I was in the Bay. I was in North Bay. I was like, just say upstate. Why can't you guys say upstate?
Right.
Yeah, are there
It's the
any other
definition
ones
of an
that's-
upstate state too.
It's so vertical.
But nobody will say upstate California.
Are there any other states that say upstate besides New York? though?
New York.
New York patented it.
That's a great point.
Right. But really, upstate is just truly the entire state.
Yeah, exactly. It's everything.
That's
about-
so true.
It's just
It's
everything
literally
else.
the whole
Except
state.
for this 1 mile.
I was going upstate.
Yeah.
And it was
City.
just half
Water
of a mile.
droplet.
Yeah, except for San Diego, everything is.
Um,
Yeah.
Well, I want to know a little bit more about your podcast.
So my podcast is awesome. It's called Spiritual Asshole. It's kind of similar to what you guys do, except for we don't like talk about specific stories, but it's like a comedic take on self-help and spirituality. But I've had the full gamut of people imaginable.
Yeah.
People who are in like astrocartography.
I listened to that one.
You did?
I want to get that done.
Yo, people love it. Helena
I think
Woods,
that
she's
one's so
amazing. I had a
cool.
woman on who did something called the Pussy Codes.
Oh.
Ooh,
that was
is like the
interesting.
vagina
And
monologues?
so,
I would say-
I was in the vagina.
I would say, yeah, but even more intense in real life. It's like the vagina monologues coming at you in real life.
So were you into spirituality and like self-help, or
Yeah.
were you more of like a skeptic and then wanted to learn more?
No, I was like closeted spiritual guy.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't tell anyone about it because, you know, you hang out with comics and they belittle everything about you. And especially that, you know. But now it's become so popular. It wasn't necessarily when I started, but now it's like everyone's like, what do you mean you don't have a crystal and a Reiki person?
Right.
What's wrong with you? What do you mean you don't talk to your plants and manifest them with your mind?
That's true.
That's where we're headed.
I know you are supposed to talk to your plants.
And so I've had a lot of manifestation babes on. I think I'm good on those guests. I think I want to see a manifestation grandpa. You know, you never see one.
Right. It's usually like
It's
a
kinda
woman in
rare.
her 20s, maybe 30s.
A hot 20s, 30s. Her name is Allie.
Yeah.
She's
name
really
is
hot.
Allie.
Always
She's
Allie.
really hot. And she's like, listen up, bitch. Like, I've had a lot of those. You're so powerful, bitch. You have no idea.
Right.
I've had a lot of those on. So I'm transitioning out of that.
Yeah, I don't think
phase.
any of the grandpas are very, and they're just trying to get through life. you
Grandpa's
know?
like, let me tell you about manifestation. I was in Vietnam.
What's your takeaway? Top takeaways that, you know, you interviewed someone, change your view on life, or, you know, something that affected you.
So many things. I mean, what has been the ultimate I don't really know that it's even helped me because it's kind of actually poisoned me a bit. Is just like how much you're shaped by your childhood. And basically everything that you're doing is just a reaction out of your childhood. And everybody says that. And it's like, it even goes to relationships and like how much we're even dating like our moms and our dads. I literally asked, the relationship coach, I'm like, how long have we been this gross? Like, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
I know.
It's
the Freudian of it all.
Yeah, but like you can draw a straight line between pretty much all of your actions and your childhood. And unless you're aware of it and change it actively. It's insane.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so it's so profound that I'm like, I actually wish I didn't know this because I'm like, oh, this is why you're doing this.
Yeah.
This sucks.
Well, I heard that like how you spent the first 7 years of life becomes your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So then when you're older, like say you grew up in chaos, you find comfort in chaos.
100,000%.
So you're always seeking that feeling, even though you know it's a negative feeling. That's where you're comfortable.
Or abuse or good
Depression.
stuff. Or like if you were treated like a king, then you're like, yeah, I'm the best.
Oh yeah, you
Then
like
you're
feel like
then you're a member of the royal family.
which you do not want to be.
Those people.
Those people, but no, I mean, dude, so many takeaways. Like, it's been amazing. I basically say, like, I've gotten 170 hours of free therapy. And I get to talk to people that I would never normally talk to.
Yeah.
It's
And,
awesome.
you know, to, like, only be in the comedy field and then to go in this world where, like, people don't just get paid in drink tickets. It's wonderful.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean,
God.
something that you said that's sticking in my craw, which is that a lot of comedians do belittle. There's a lot of belittling going on.
Yeah, I think it's gotten a lot
And-
better, though. I came up in a really aggressive era. Now I feel like everyone's so kind to each other, which I'm like, good for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, LA has a kind of flavor of that. I mean, I want to tell you, I don't know if I've told you about this one, Shano, but yeah, I did this show with these comics and everyone was on good terms and it was fine. Like I considered them friends, you know, and we did the show and they opened, featured, and I headlined. And after the show, you know, we talked about everyone's set but they didn't say a single word about my set, positive or negative. And
Oh yeah.
What do you think they were
did I
doing?
tell you about this already?
Yeah.
And it gave me some kind of ick. I was like, you ain't got a single thing to say.
What did you want them to say, though? What would have made you
A
feel
simple
good?
good set would have been enough. I don't
It
think
was a good set, or did you bomb?
it was a good set.
Okay.
you know?
What's the funniest backhanded compliment you used to get after sets? Mine would be, "Hey, you should write more."
Oh, okay. I don't even know. Is that backhanded? That's
No,
just mean.
That's not. Yeah, that's just mean. You're right. Never mind.
I remember my dad has this friend that like we always roast. I hope he doesn't hear this, but like he's a nice person, but he's just kind of like milquetoast, you know. And
Yeah.
so after I won a comedy competition in college,
Sick.
and so I got to play like what was it called, the Herberger,
Yeah.
the huge fucking theater. It was like 5,000 people.
Where is this?
At Arizona State.
Oh no way.
And I knew then, and it's been true. I was like, this is probably the biggest show I'm going to do for like 10 years. And now it's been like 14 years. So, but anyway, it's been more than that. And anyway, after the show, he goes, I really admire your stage presence.
Oh yeah.
Who said
Like,
that?
This is like my dad's
dad.
friend.
Oh
who-
yeah, no. My dad one time saw me do a show. This was early on. I hosted a bunch of other comedians, and he started naming all of his favorite comics on the show. And I was like, "What about me?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you. Yeah, you're my favorite host."
You were hosting though?
I was hosting. Yeah, like you can't get somebody a good. Wait a minute, you guys
Yeah,
both
there
went
was
to.
there was only one host.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
true.
Favorite host. You guys both went to ASU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Props to you guys for being this productive and going to that school.
I know.
It's amazing that you
truly.
guys
I know.
have this much
made it
success.
this
It's
far.
It's incredible.
I know.
I
Well,
thought people just go to that school and they just
Drop
disintegrate
off.
into becoming like a DJ forever.
True.
I wasn't.
Well,
I had a DJ phase, so I
I
fell
bet you
out of
still
it.
kind
I
of do,
climbed out.
no?
No, I had to sell the DJ gear.
Oh, you
Why?
did.
I did, yeah.
I would love to see you
It's
DJ.
expensive.
Yeah.
I'm pretty nasty, bro.
I think it'd be great.
Maybe we should just rave after.
Yeah, this
right
feels like
now.
we're starting
I'd
to
be
kick
down.
in.
Change up the lights.
Yeah.
Just
You made a great observation. I didn't personally hear this. You said you heard something on Brendan's pod about him. This is
Oh, yes,
juicy
that
as
you
fuck.
work with incarcerated youth.
So
Good
this
person
actually leads
alert.
me into my story. If
Ooh.
Perfect segue.
you guys want to hear it.
I sure do.
So am I the asshole? This so I work with incarcerated youth, and at this place called Barry J. Night Off with this foundation called Michael's Daughter Foundation. It's nice. It's like an actor started it, and our goal is just to like go to different places and teach writing. So we're making short films with these guys. We already recorded them.
Oh yeah, and you were gonna do an animated one, right?
Right. Wow,
Yeah.
great memory.
Thank you.
And so incredible memory. And so, you know, I'm not a teacher. Like I don't really teach, but I can talk to people. Like I've taught sketch and stuff before, but not to incarcerated people. It's my first time in jail. So probably the second weekend I'm in, or the second week I'm teaching, it's a Thursday, and I'm with these guys, and I'm like, okay, we're like finally bonding. Because the first time they came in, I was fully scared. I was like,
Wait,
okay.
and they're all under 18.
No, they're in between 17 and 22.
Oh, okay.
And they roll up, and immediately I was like, okay, Dangerous Minds. Let me think about the movie Dangerous Minds. It's my only reference right now. What do I do? And I was like, okay, I think I learned from those movies, like, make contact with the one who's like seems in charge. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to talk to him.
Make contact.
Make contact. And I
Hello,
did.
take me
Hi,
to your leader.
I'm here for contact. And so it started going well. So now we're in week 2, and I'm like, okay, like these guys, they're kind of my friends. It's a Thursday. I'm not going to see them till Monday. As they're leaving, I go, okay, guys, bye. Have a good weekend. And then I go, have a good week. And I just trailed off.
Because they're not going to have a good weekend.
Oh, I didn't even clock that.
Bro.
Oh.
It was in the same tone of like, have a good weekend. Where are you going hiking? Have a good weekend at your winery trip.
There's no weekend in prison.
There's no
They don't
weekend
tell
in
you.
prison. And my co-teacher was cracking up laughing because he was like, bro, you trailed off. It was incredible. Have a good weekend. And have a good weekend. And I was doing it so nicely. And I go, have a good week. And I literally dropped the end. I was like, and it trailed off all the way out the window, and they were gone. They don't care. These guys are so cool.
Yeah.
But I felt like
nobody's
such an
besides
asshole.
The other guy.
We were just laughing. I felt like such an asshole though.
Oh my God, that's.
And I was like, my
great.
second week, I was like, oh fuck, I hope I don't get fired for telling them to have a good weekend and go to
Yeah.
wine country. I didn't say that.
Oh yeah.
Enjoy Sonoma.
I've had so many things like that where it's like, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. And then like I end up saying it because it's just like such a common turn of
I know.
phrase. Like this one time, I had told this story already, but this one time I like had saw a friend the night that he like tried to end his life. And when I saw him, I
know
was
you
like,
would.
don't say,
Danny's already laughing.
don't say. How's it going? How's it going? And I literally go, hey, how's it going? And I was like, oh.
Oh, you said the thing.
That's
She said
don't
the
say
thing.
how's it going. That's
said the
fantastic.
thing.
That's just great.
I'm having a good weekend,
Yeah,
he
it's
said.
great.
Have a good weekend.
Okay, well, I definitely would say that's NTA. You didn't mean
I think no
anything. It's
assholes
such,
here.
Like,
Oh,
no
that's so
assholes
nice of
here.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
easy
you.
mistake
Thank you for
to
taking
make.
But I
it.
completely get, like, I would be, like, so embarrassed.
There's no acknowledgement in prison at all of the weekend, I guess.
No, ain't nobody talking
Brutal.
about the weekend. It's just another
brutal.
day.
You'd think they would do something, you know, like silly Saturday. I don't know.
There's got to still be, like, an energy in the air, you think?
And energy is hilarious.
Are the vibes
the
immaculate?
Vibes at an
Like-
all-time high. No, this place is actually, they get to do some fun stuff. They bring in dogs. They watch movies.
Good.
Okay.
So like, it's, I just don't think they're exactly summering. You know what I mean? Weekend style. No one's going to
They're
Nantucket.
not yachting.
No one's going to Nantucket.
No one's going to Nantucket.
No one's going to Nantucket.
Well, that's great that you do that. Look at you.
It's been a good experience. It's coming to an end. So yeah, it's been quite an experience. I just came from there. That's why I had the traffic. So thanks for tacking me out.
I was going to say,
Wow,
he
actually.
better be late because he's helping
That's
incarcerated
right.
youth.
That's right. No,
Because
that's
if they're
actually
just
so
youths.
cool. Do they do that with women as well?
So I teach middle school girls who are not in jail. So
Oh, okay.
But I
does
think
the incarcerated youth have
That's
a
your
program where it's
job?
women?
Wait, what is that?
it's the same foundation. So that's 2 days a week. It's part-time. So I'm there for 3 hours. And
Teach them writing.
yeah, so we also did short films with them, and they're just like, middle school girls now are just like, it's full on.
Oh, I feel like I'd be terrified.
They're full on. It is like screaming, throwing beach balls. People are burping. They think farting is the funniest thing in the world, which it still is.
So do I.
It still is. It's never not going to be funny.
No.
These are not incarcerated
Yeah.
though. These are just girls.
These are just girls.
Girls that
Girls.
are weekending.
These girls
So
have
you
weekend
can
These
say
girls have
weekend.
weekend capabilities. Yes.
That's important.
It is important. But no, that's been so that's a different story, and that's been good too as well.
Middle school and high school, any of those age scare me. I
How
don't
were
know
you
what
at
to
that
say.
age? Were you a maniac?
No.
I don't see you yelling.
Not in middle school, no. I wouldn't say I was a maniac. I
High
wasn't
school, you were
yelling.
just cutting
Well,
people?
Kind of. I was always the class clown, so I was always a little bit interrupting. Yeah, I was interrupting for
That's
sure.
cool.
For sure.
Well, Brendan, it's so good to have you. We're gonna play a little game here called Guess the Verdict.
Okay.
Now, what we're going to do is we're just going to say the title of a situation without giving any details, and we're just all going to take guesses at what the verdict is.
Okay, great.
Would I be the asshole for not wanting to change my baby's name?
Would I be the asshole for not wanting to change my baby's name?
Correct.
I'm going to go. Do you want to guess first?
I would say no asshole on that one.
You're saying no assholes here?
Or that they're not the asshole.
I would say they're not the asshole.
So you're saying NTA.
NTA.
I'll go YTA.
Shannon went YTA, and Shannon is correct.
Wait, what was this based on? A pulse?
Hotel.
Well, now I'll explain what the situation is. OP is 8 months pregs. She reveals a name to her parents, his parents, and his sister Ashley, who's 17. Not incarcerated youth, just youth, Brendan.
Use.
They were youths, excuse me. They reveal they want to name the baby Sean, and then the in-laws get quiet because that's actually the name of Ashley's old bully who tormented her so bad in high school she switched schools and also almost unalived herself due to the bullying, which I found in a comment.
Oh, shit.
They didn't know.
Wow.
The OP did not know. Not lost for words, YTA. I'd be on your side, but you commented that the bullying was bad enough. She tried to unalive herself. I mean, you do have right to name your kid whatever, but why would you want to do this to a family member?
Dude, that backstory is epic. I had no idea we're going down this journey. You just took me down a lifetime movie journey. I had no idea.
Yep.
But and then you know how hard it is to find a name. I'm just kind of like,
It is hard.
it's just a name. We'll spell it different.
I know.
Can we spell it different?
Yeah, and
No.
also Sean is not common of a name. I could get if
That's
it's like some
true.
like beautifully particular name that has
Yeah.
all this sentimental value.
Right.
Yeah, like
Beatrix.
it was more unique or something. Yeah.
A name you don't hear a lot. Yeah, I could see that. Little Yachty.
Little yacht.
Yeah, they
okay.
are being a little. What is that when you're
Rigid?
Precious.
Yeah, or just like egocentric, I guess. Like you're making it about you.
How come no one names their kid Junior anymore? I kind of love it. I'm glad.
You're right. Just straight up junior.
I'm glad we've moved on from the Junior era.
Can you be junior?
Oh yeah.
They never do that.
Rebecca
They would never do that to women, though. They would never.
Junior,
You
senior.
never
Well,
see
you
a
kind
woman
of
Junior.
can't because normally the woman takes the man's last name, so that you wouldn't be a junior. Because actually, my aunt is like kind of a junior, but she doesn't have the exact same name as my nana because my nana changed her name.
Got it.
But yeah, we have a woman junior. We have a male
Woman
junior.
junior.
Too.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard situation. Maybe we should cover that one day.
That's a hard
Maybe.
one. Yeah, that was complex.
Okay, my turn. AITA for telling my sister I'm so fucking tired of her taking from me and acting like it's what I was born for.
Wow, I'm almost ready to just say YTA for that nasty title. What a word salad.
long.
One more
Yeah,
time.
AITA for telling my sister I'm so fucking tired of her taking from me and acting like it's what I was born for.
Born for.
That's the whole title? That's not what you said the first time, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is? Oh, it felt so much shorter the second time.
Actually says Tyler Perry presents. And then it's the whole thing.
For
Let's make it longer.
taking from me,
And acting like it's what I was born for.
this person does. I'm gonna say that I'm on their side because they just seem so verbose. I don't hope, but it seems like they've been harmed. So I'm gonna say NTA.
I'm gonna say YTA. I'm sorry, just because I do agree this title's coming out real hot right now. I wasn't ready for it.
Danny, you are the winner.
I'm getting these all wrong.
So the opening sentence is, so I technically was ... born to take from. she's a savior sibling. You guys ever heard of this?
No.
No, what?
So
Savior
the oldest child grew sick of something, and they literally had another child to be able to like give her blood.
Wow. Can I take this back? Can we go back in time 30 seconds?
Wait, what? Is that legal?
I guess.
Wow. I kind of heard of this before.
But she also literally was also just treated like she was like a bag of blood. Like they literally her entire life, like she was the first one was like the star child, and she literally was just always taking from her about everything in life. So then when she got older, she still was trying to do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
the
I feel bad
fuck,
now.
man.
Isn't that terrible?
Is this the story of the Jonas Brothers? It feels like it could be.
I don't get it,
Very
but I'm
much.
going with it.
No, I mean,
Why?
taking
'Cause
blood.
they're-
They're like three of them are really famous. There's a fourth, isn't there?
Oh,
Yeah, I
is
think
there
there
a
is.
Don't
fourth?
you always feel bad for that? There's a third Eli Man. There's a third Manning brother no one talks
I think
about.
there's also a Hemsworth too.
Do you want to be that guy? That's tough.
No
Yeah.
way.
Oh my
Can't even
God.
imagine.
Wow.
My favorite story like that is, I don't know if everyone remembers this. George Clooney allegedly gave his 10 best friends $1 million for Christmas 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe it was 5 years ago. And a meme was like, imagine being his 11th best friend.
That's a bad
And you're like, dude, not only did I find out I'm now your 11th, you're not going to give me $1 million. That's so good.
So good.
I know it's hard to choose with that stuff because
But anyways.
I said that like if I won the lottery, I would want to do something like that too. But like, where do you draw the line?
Yeah, that's a good question.
All right, you're up.
AITA for mixing food and offending partner's family. AITA for mixing food and offending partner's family. Do 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 do.
My thing is like thinking about if a family's kosher or if their ethnicity, you have to be somewhat sympathetic of that.
Interesting.
Because
Brendan.
yeah, I have a friend who's Jewish and she like, doesn't eat pork. So if you're like, hey, I made you food, it's this
Right.
pork chop I just slaughtered with my bare hands.
Oh, yeah.
She's
Or if
she's
that
really
was
violent.
separate and then they mixed it and now they couldn't
Yeah.
do anything.
Am I the asshole?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say you are. Why? YTA.
Got a YTA from Brendan.
Okay, I'll do ESH.
Shannon with another hit.
Whoa!
ESH,
You are
it is
0 for 3.
It's okay,
here,
Brennan.
kiddo.
He barely
new with
knows-
I'm new with this
he
game.
doesn't know the premise of the podcast. So, OP is a 23F Chinese Australian, which didn't even occur to me that could be possible.
Wow.
But of course,
not?
well, it just sounds like too many things going on.
True.
Have been dating Andrew. Well, because it never occurred to me that Australia obviously is a diverse country with many types of individuals, but I primarily picture it as sort of
it is interesting
kangaroos.
because we are so used to saying like Chinese American,
Yes.
yeah, African American. It's like, oh yeah, you can also be like, could you be a like American German?
Oh my God, you
no, because
could. No,
American, can you?
I don't know. Anyway, OP is a Chinese Australian, and she's been dating Andrew. She's 23. Andrew's 26M. He's half Vietnamese, half Australian. For 4 years, and now she regularly stays at his place on the weekend, lives with the parents and an older sister.
Ooh.
Sister kind of says OP should pay bills. She's there often enough. She should pay bills.
Oh.
She says it's 50 to a hundo here and there. OP's a student. Now, mom cooks food regularly. She makes rib soup. Okay.
Sounds great.
Boyfriend, I thought it sounded great. Boyfriend makes ramen for dinner.
Hell yes.
Yum.
OP
ramen
went to
tonight.
mix them.
Love ramen.
Mom goes, stops her.
Did she say it exactly like that? Was this the premise of Crazy Rich Asians?
She was confused. Andrew then says the pork rib soup should be eaten alone and not mixed with spicy noodles since the flavors are different. OP wanted to try a different flavor though, a remix.
Yeah.
Mom says OP's way of mixing food is wrong.
Wow.
The argument gets heated. OP doesn't understand why mixing food's a crime. Then OP starts crying. Sister barges into the
Oh my
room
God.
and says, "Why are you throwing a tantrum in someone else's house? We are feeding you food and you're so ungrateful."
Oh my God.
OP says if you pay at a restaurant, they don't police your eating. Sister says OP is no longer welcome. OP says I'm leaving.
So the verdict is everyone's an asshole?
The
Yes,
top verdict
everyone.
went to rum-soaked chap. ESH, but not for mixing food. My granddad was famous for dipping his chips in ice cream, which some people thought made him weird and some people thought made him a legend. My grandmom would yell at him, but it was all in good humor. This should have been de-escalated by both parties.
I think that I'm now on Team OP's side. I feel like she's up against a lot of forces here, man.
I agree. I mean, what?
The whole family's mad at you. You're trying to do something good. I changed my answer
flavors?
big time.
Why can't you mix flavors?
Yeah, I thought this is like possibly like a Palestinian Israeli thing. Like we're like deep cultural like.
Well, even Larry David eats Palestinian chicken.
Yeah,
classic episode.
Zenku.
You've seen Palestinian chicken, right? Oh, it's like one of the best
That's
episodes.
Zenku, right?
See it.
Herb?
Yeah, it's like the best episode. Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah, so I feel for you. Like she's also in their house, and it just seems like it all came out during this meal. All the stuff that was really going on in the house. If I can be really spiritual right now about this, it's just deep.
And don't we all eat chips and ice cream? Because I think everyone knows French fries,
chips, yeah,
and Wendy's chocolate frosty. God, I mean, people,
the best,
the best.
the best.
Do you guys put M&Ms in your popcorn?
What the fuck are you talking? Brendan, get out of here.
You don't.
Yeah, you show up
this,
late.
though, right?
No, I have. I'm not.
I didn't know that
into
was a thing.
Oh, it's absolutely.
So
a thing.
does the
I don't do it, but I know a lot of people who do
Sweet
that.
and savory. Oh yeah, and then
It's
it
kinda
kind
the
of
same
melts.
concept.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a movie theater
Oh,
trail
actually, that
mix.
sounds pretty good.
That does sound pretty good.
We take it back.
All right, so Shannon is winning 2. I have 1.
Wow, I'm
Brendan
killing
has
it.
0.
My goal is to get this.
You
next
could
one
tie
wrong,
me.
too.
You could tie me.
Okay.
Okay. AITA for making my daughter shower in PE.
Oh, I can't. Oh, please. She needs to shower. Girls can stink too.
Yeah. I'm gonna say not the asshole.
Oh God, I want to tie Shannon. I don't want to lose. I'll go not the asshole because then there's no way I could lose to Brendan. NTA.
Okay. I thought you went NTA too.
I did go into you.
Okay. So you're wrong. YTA.
Still beat Brendan.
So apparently.
It's whatever I think I should pick the opposite is what I'm doing.
Yes. Okay, so daughter is 14 years old and she's like barely hit puberty. She's less developed than her peers and she's very self-conscious about it. And they, you know, she is getting made to shower after PE. But if you write in a note as the parent, you won't have to shower after PE. But the mom is like, well, no, like you need to shower. It's hygienic. It's unhygienic if you don't. And so I guess she didn't so she ended up showering and all the girls were making fun of her. And she was like, please, I don't want to shower. And she's like, okay, then why don't you bring a swimsuit instead? And she's like,
even
well, that
worse.
will point me out even more.
Oh,
But she's still making her shower after the girls are making fun of her.
Oh man, that's really hard.
In middle school, we didn't shower after PE.
No.
Or elementary
We didn't have
school.
facilities for that.
I guess maybe.
I showered in high school
we
after
did.
football.
And did
Yeah, that
anyone
makes
make fun of you?
sense.
Yeah, and that's when I realized how small my penis was.
Well, it might have just been a grower.
No, it was
You
tiny.
knew
It was tiny.
it was fully hard.
That's when I was like, oh, I have evidence now.
Now
It's
we
all in
know.
front of me.
I'm gonna give you a point just for admitting your
Thank you so
penis.
much. I do feel for that. That's tough, man.
I know.
These headlines are deceiving. These are tricky.
Exactly.
They get you on that
Tricky.
curveball.
Nonetheless, you won. Was that it? We
Yeah.
didn't have more there. Shannon is the
Great.
winner of
Thank
Guess the
you.
Verdict. Shannon, congratulations. Brendan with 1 point, which I gave for having a micro.
I know.
A micro.
I do not have a micro. I want to just clarify for the
Let's
record.
just clarify that. The speed dating
I'm
women.
still single, so I need to tell everyone that it's not a micro. In case you guys are on
It's
the apps.
not a micro.
I'm not on the
It's
apps.
not a micro.
All right, let's get this party started.
Our second story of the day, AITA for questioning my GF's beliefs in astrology.
Oh, well, this one I like.
Guys, please rate, review, subscribe. Join us on Patreon, patreon.com/AITA pod. Over 200 bonus episodes.
Holy cow.
Yes. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. Here we go, folks. AITA for upsetting a girl over her so-called spiritual beliefs. My 17M best friend John passed away a few years ago now. And recently this girl in a few of my classes had mentioned to a few of my friends that she was speaking to him. I was confused when I heard this because, well, he's dead. I was told she was communicating with him through Greek gods and candles. Keep in mind, she didn't know him, so it pissed me off a bit, but I didn't do anything. I happened to be sitting near her in a class the other day and asked what she thought about Greek mythology. I wasn't trying to start shit. I just heard she believed in Greek gods, but I never actually heard it from her. She said she did, and she went on about it for a while. She mentioned eventually that spirits can communicate to her while she's worshiping the gods with candles or something. No, I'm not joking. But I did joke to her and said something like, oh yeah, I'm sure a lot of spirits are confused if they end up in a teenager's bedroom. She looked a bit annoyed, and after a while she said, John's been communicating with me. I was a bit upset, but I just said, oh yeah, how's he doing that then? And she said something about how if she asks him a question, he'll flicker the candle different ways. I honestly found it kind of funny, but also aggravating. I laughed a bit and just went back to my work. She looked annoyed, but didn't say anything for a few minutes, but then said something about how I don't take her seriously. I told her I didn't. She then told me that my friend said he was sorry for what he did. My friend died on his own. I don't think it's a joke, and that he missed me. At this point, I got fucking annoyed and told her, fuck off with that Percy Jackson bullshit. And you didn't know fuck all about him. So what makes you think you can say that? You don't know me and you didn't know him. No wonder everyone thinks you're a fucking deranged R word. Needless to say, she was upset. Told me her beliefs were as real as mine and it's none of my business. I told her I didn't ask. She told me. AITA.
I think this is pretty clear.
Well, what do you think? What are your thoughts on communicating with spirits?
I mean, you're asking the wrong guy. Like, I totally think you can. Mm-hmm. And whether or not someone actually is doing it, that's a separate discussion.
Yeah.
But why can't she feel this way? Who cares? And also, this guy should be stoked. She's got a clear channel to this guy. Ask some questions. Figure out what's going on. Why you got to be mad about it?
Yeah.
Who cares? What's the worst that's going to happen if she's doing this? It sounds like to me like this guy just hasn't really processed his friend dying and he's still pretty pissed, which I understand. But I will say, like, you didn't got to be aggressive about it, bro.
Interesting.
And if you think it's weird, a lot of things we do are weird. Let's go down the list.
But I do think it's a little presumptuous
That she's talking to her friend.
I think it's
His
one
friend.
thing. I mean, I know I don't want to get into, but I know people who have had experiences like this and want to share those experiences. But I think what was very core is that they were they were very close to the deceased. Right. So it would be like if somebody close to me died and then I was saying like, oh, well, I saw this, whatever vision or whatever it would be. I think that's one thing. But I think you're definitely walking and maybe shitting on hallowed ground to be like, oh, that person who was close to you is talking to me.
So she didn't know him at all.
She didn't know him at all.
No. Well, I think she maybe like knew of him because they all went to school together, but like she's like cosplaying as his friend kind of thing where
I
it
love
almost
just cosplaying.
feels like
Cosplaying with the dead is a fantastic term.
I almost feel like she is wanting like the attention, like grieving attention to go on to her because she's seeing how other people are receiving it.
Okay, well, I'm going to follow her on Instagram right now.
Insert herself into the narrative.
Yes.
It's kind of like when a famous person dies and they're like, I met him once.
Yeah. Or like, this was a really special person to me.
This was not.
Right.
Yeah. Let me tell you about how great this person was. And it's just, they're just promoting a really sick photo of themselves with the person. Okay.
Right.
I can see
or
that.
Or like when, Notre Dame burnt down.
Oh, yeah.
And that gave everyone an excuse just to post their traveling photos in Europe.
I went there.
Like, I've been to Prague. Like, that's nowhere near Notre Dame. What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just say this from like tonally, I'm cool with this girl, but I do hear what you're saying.
Well, I think it's one thing to be like, look, is John Edwards the asshole? That's, I don't know. Is that a really outdated reference? I don't know Percy Jackson.
Is that?
Oh, you don't remember?
He's a
Crossing over with John Edwards. I haven't watched TV for 20 years.
Former vice presidential candidate with John Kerry. No, it's.
Wait, am I wrong? Is that not his name?
That is his name, but there also was a John Edwards who was John Kerry's vice president. Who cheated on his wife and then just found him
isn't it the Long Island Medium?
Yeah,
there's like a bunch of these people.
John Edwards is definitely one of them.
So there's a self-help book that I didn't read, but I read the premise and that was enough for me. And I've actually thought it was a great premise. And actually,
Percy Jackson?
No, but the premise of the book was
so confused.
basically the idea is we need little lies. We need little myths. It's why religion exists. It's why a lot of these things exist. So, a younger Danny Vega would have said these people are fucking frauds. And here's the great example of this. I don't know if I've told you this already, but there was this fake, it was a fake love service. Like basically nobody knew, but basically the premise was a guy would get a letter from a woman and they would correspond back and forth. And so this woman, would engage with his writing, da-da-da-da-da. And it was found that like it was some guy in his company who would produce all the letters. It was a completely fictional relationship.
Yeah.
Right? There was no woman on the other side. It was like a company thing.
Oh, shit.
And one of the guys wanted to sue the company that did this, feeling like he was defrauded. And you know what? Almost nobody wanted to back him. They didn't feel defrauded. They knew on some level. They wanted the myth, right? They wanted the fake reality. So I don't have a problem with somebody offering this as a service, the John Edwards and much more not ridiculous ancient references of the world, because people
Are you mad because it was Greek gods? If it was Italian gods, would you like it better?
I'm interested in that. What are the Italian gods?
I don't know.
Besides
I think the
besides Greek?
Ninja Turtles.
The ninja,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
Donatello, pizza, of course, the god of
Pizza.
pizza. But I think the sin here is how Shannon framed it. It's getting in it and making it about her. I think that's very different from offering a service, which is like, I can let you speak to the dead if you want. That's not inserting yourself into someone's interpersonal situation. I think there's a big difference there. It's the how. It's all about the how for me here.
Yeah, I don't think that there's anything wrong with like her communicating. I just do think like maybe it just seemed like she was like kind of going around to other people saying like this, people were coming up to him saying like, yeah, she's like saying that she was speaking to him, and like everyone's in the thick of their well, I guess it was a few years ago. Oh, this wasn't recent.
Oh, I thought it was recent.
So he's still processing
it was
this.
a few years ago. Yeah, he's definitely still processing it. And like, it was his best friend. Like he definitely has way more of a vested interest. It is interesting that this is coming up later though. So like my theory of like wanting to leech onto the grief, like I don't think that plays anymore, because now it just actually does seem like maybe she's communicating with him because it's a few years later.
Yeah. Also, I don't know. I just think that this guy is not as mad at her as he thinks he is. I think he's still not fully dealing with, which rightfully so. I get it, dude. Like that's crazy to lose your best friend.
The death of a young person.
But just, it's devastating. But like, yeah, when he goes off on her at the end, I just don't think that he needed to do that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I actually like, it seems like he says here I wasn't trying to start shit, but it definitely does feel like he was, like, because that she was she says here that she was communicating through Greek gods. So then he goes up to her and says, what does she think about Greek mythology? And he tries to say, I wasn't trying to start shit. Like, no, you definitely were trying to have this conversation with her. And maybe the better thing would have been, and he's in high school, so give him a pass. But the better thing would have just been like more inquisitive about that. Like he was ready for a fight.
I mean, great joke though.
I
love this joke. I'm sure a lot of spirits would be confused if they wound up in a teenager's bedroom.
I do love
that. That's a great joke, buddy. That's a
was
real good line.
Good job.
That's great.
Yeah, that's a great line.
No Salamander 7749. You provoked the convo, then called her a slur, YTA. Your local Korg, YTA. I agree with your points, but your execution could have been handled better. I would say you owe an apology. You did literally ask her.
I also feel like this one really cuts along gender lines too. I feels like women would be defensive of the woman in this one because he kind of comes off aggressive. Do you know what I mean? Like I bet you these comments.
I think he was angry. I think it was angering what she was doing. It was violating. It was self-centered.
You're a man. That's what I'm saying. Last time I checked.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, a lot
you're
of
definitely
people.
a bro.
You're rounding up for me, but
Rounding up is fantastic.
I think that
I'm hanging on.
a lot of people would feel violated by this. And that's why I think the telemediums of the world are like on a consensual basis. You don't just go around and start.
Yes, I think we did a situation where, or was this in a TV show or something? I think this was a TV show actually. Somebody had brought a medium to come and like talk to her friend who had just lost somebody. And the medium was outside before she'd even said like, I brought a medium to talk to you about this. And the girl was upset because she was like, you already brought her before like asking me. Like, I think it's just very much, what you said, like consent, like you need to be open to it. And she's kind of going around like willy nilly, like, yeah, I'm talking to him. Like, I absolutely see why he's upset over this, of her casual, flippant way that it seems like she's going around just talking about it.
I think so. I mean, we might agree to disagree on this, y'all, but I frankly think what she was doing was fucked up. This was his best friend. It was a few years ago, but I don't care. You don't fuck. And the death of a young person is just horrible, horrible, ugly thing, you know?
Yeah, we do have an update though.
Oh,
let's hear the update.
I ended up seeing her a few days later to some unavoidable school bullshit. We ended up alone in a classroom together during a free period because we were studying and the teacher had left for a bit. I told her that I was sorry I called her the R word, but that it's a massive dick move to say that she can talk to my dead friend. She said she was going to report me for saying the R word, and I said, fine, but I'm going to say how she's been going around saying she can talk to my dead friend. And that way, more people are going to be pissed at me. No, more pissed than at me saying the R word.
Pissed at that. Yeah. Okay. I see what he's saying. Yeah. I don't like that she said that she's going to report him. Now I'm upset. You don't need to report him. We're not here to snitch on people.
I also feel like, look,
we'll just call you out on this podcast. It's fine.
Exactly.
You shouldn't be dropping any slurs. I think the R word is obviously a shitty slur to say, but I'm like, you don't get I don't believe in that. Like if you like spit on someone's face and they call you a slur, I'm like, they shouldn't have, but like, you know what I mean? Like what she did was really fucked up.
Yeah. She's being very like not tactful at all, and it's a touchy subject. It's a very touchy.
Should we get a Ouija
subject,
board out and have him pick
flippant.
that one? Pick this one.
Maybe we can ask OP's friend.
Let's ask her friend and see what we should go here.
Well, I'm just curious where we're all at. I know where I'm at.
Okay.
Even though he said the R word, I am still kind of I'm ultimately at NTA and she is. I think it's really fucked up to do this, and it's very violating to someone's grief. And I'm not. I don't think anyone has the right to do that. This is a consensual thing.
I think I'm leaning that way too. I don't love that he like provoked the way he went about it, but I can also see not going about it in a great way either, because I do think I would be upset. But I do also see where there's a world where maybe I could have just taken it as like, oh my God, you're really talking to her?
Yeah.
Like, can I talk to her too? But I do think that like the girl probably more should have been like, said something to like the best friends, like privately, and like again with the consent, been like, hey, I just want to let you know, I know this is like maybe not something that you are very used to, but I do have these powers. Like I feel like I can talk to the dead. He's been communicating with me. Do you want me to channel him and be able to talk to you? Like I have these skills, and I would love for you to experience that.
What if this is her way of flirting with him?
What's your verdict?
Could be.
I'm gonna say no one's an asshole here.
You're saying no assholes here?
Yeah, I'm not saying it. Yeah, I can't. It's too much of a tie in my head at this point.
Okay.
I was gonna say
it could be ESH. NaH paradox, meaning everyone sucks or no one sucks.
I think maybe it's exactly that. I think everyone sucks. I'm going that way.
He's going ESH
that too.
paradox. Guys, please rate, review, and subscribe to us on Patreon, patreon.com/AITA pod. Here's Shano.
AITA for questioning my girlfriend's beliefs in astrology. Last night I was talking to my girlfriend over the phone and complaining about just life in general. Job opportunities drying up, not being where I thought I would be at my age, and just feeling a bit blue overall.
Been there.
In the middle of the conversation, she just cuts me off and starts, God, you're such a Leo.
Oh my God.
She wasn't being mean. She just finds that funny for some reason. My answer was, I wish that horoscope stuff was actually true. That way I could just blame everything on my birth date and not my terrible judgment.
I love that.
As a
Great joke, bro.
She immediately got incensed. She went on and on about how dare I say that I was so close-minded, and then not believing it doesn't mean no. And that not believing it didn't mean I understood. I tried to explain that my biggest issue with horoscopes was that if you are prescribed certain aspects of your personality by some sort of mysterious unseen force when you are born, then you can't really be held accountable in your life, seeing as you were never truly free to make any choices or even learn from them. That you will always be constrained by the personality unwillingly thrust upon you, never truly being able to develop an authentic self. Well, she did not buy this. Her witty retort was, God, you just don't get it. It's not how this works. She did not explain how this works. She just kept saying that I'm such a Leo.
Oh, that's great.
Not wanting to start a fight over something as dumb as astrology, I just told her that being called such a Leo when talking about my impending unemployment and general ambivalence regarding my future was a bit insensitive, and that I didn't find that information comforting or helpful. She just said, I'm sorry, but seriously, such a Leo. I told her I had to go. Before we started dating, I knew that she was into horoscope and she knew that I wasn't. But what annoys me is apparently she can just bring it up whenever she wants and I'm not allowed to question it. If I do question it, I automatically become closed-minded dick, but she has never been open to my point of view or even ever come close to considering seriously any explanation I give her. Whenever I ask her to explain why she believes in astrology so intensely, she just blames me for not understanding rather than actually trying to explain it. AITA?
Here's my favorite thing about this, his girlfriend. Her answer to everything that's going on in life is such a Leo. And I'm just picturing her at different events and she's like at a funeral, she's like, such a Leo.
Yeah.
Just a dad, like a guy in a casket, just such a Leo. My God.
I'm literally not a Leo. You have read my birthday is November 27th. I'm not a Leo, babe.
Just such a Leo.
Such a Leo.
I think this guy's very smart. He's thought a lot about this, obviously. Like anybody who throws around the word authentic self. I think it sounds like from his perspective, she said nothing else other than you're a Leo. If that's the case, that's not really a conversation. That's mostly just a one-sided person saying that you're a thing.
Yeah, and it's judgmental.
So judgmental. It's like he's trying to say like, hey, I'm struggling. And she's like, well, that's what Leos do.
Yeah.
They don't work, which is not true, by the way. That's not, at least that's what I've heard about Leos. And
I know, I don't see how this is like a Leo at all, but maybe she knows more about it than me.
it's also a way of not really engaging. If with someone, that's kind of what I think you were saying. If you're just like, you're a Leo. All right.
Especially because it sounds like he's being very vulnerable with her about like not feeling like he's feeling like he's stuck in life. And then she's just going to throw that out and then not follow up and explain like in what way he is.
It's pretty funny.
Or like, how can this help me? Can I channel this energy differently? You know?
Yeah. And she's like, I know what you can do. Go look up how you're a Leo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just go look it up.
Just look in the mirror and be like, wow.
Such a Leo.
Yeah, I think it's tone deaf. She's not really empathizing, and I view this similarly to psychobabble, even though there's not a conflict going on. But let's maybe start with this. In the middle, this is the middle of a conversation. It sounds like it wasn't even maybe a conversation. It sounds like it might have been a bit of a vent.
Yeah.
We are just getting his side, though. We should be clear about that.
That's true. But it sounds like this person, like, right, what are the problems? The problems are... you know, that he's anxious about, what is it? His impending unemployment and general ambivalence regarding his future.
Yes.
And that sounds like venting to me. It sounds like anxious venting. And really the answer is probably to say something like, I hear you. Those are scary problems, but, you know, I'll be here for you and we'll figure it out together. Yeah. But instead, it's this, you are such a Leo. And I say this is like psychobabble because I think it is a form of psychobabble, really. It's not psychology proper, but it's kind of like what you're saying. It's like very reductivist. Like, you're just a Leo being a Leo. Like, you're just a bipolar 2 being a bipolar 2. It's like, well, I'm actually a person having a problem. So, like, can you not diagnose this with your tool?
Would you like it more or less with after he said those things, she's like, hold on, hold this crystal. Would you like that more than you're just a Leo? She just quietly
equal.
gave.
I'm putting it on the same level of psychology. I think it's just not appropriate. It's not an appropriate time to be dropping. It's saying you are, right? It's not being there at all. Being present, hearing him.
Back massage?
Back massage is great.
Hello.
Yeah.
But also
come on.
that's I think that's kind, but also maybe a little to the side, right? Like part of a relationship is we're going to state our problems, we're going to state our emotions, and someone's going to go, that's valid. I understand why you feel that way. Or like, I'll be here for you. I'm here to help you process that. But this to me is very much like, yeah, you're just like you're saying, it really does. She's not saying anything beyond like, you're that, and that's how that goes.
Yeah.
It is that's literally she's saying it is what it is.
There's no depth here for sure.
And then she gets immediately incensed when he just says like, oh, I wish that was actually true because then I can just blame all my problems on it. Like, I feel like that line was almost more like he was kind of throwing himself a pity party a little bit more than like directly talking shit about the horoscope thing. Like, when he says like, I could blame everything on my birthday instead of my terrible judgment. Like, he's like more kind of knocking himself.
Oh, totally.
Then
yeah.
he's knocking the
That's
horoscope.
why I like
and then
that.
she's
I like that
like
line.
pissed. And it's like, babe, why do you care? Like, you were the rude one in that scenario, and now you're getting mad at him.
Yeah.
I think this would be like if you were close friends with someone and you were going through some hard shit and you go, I'm really struggling right now. And they go, you need Jesus.
Yeah.
It's like, I thought we were
explains
going
my
to be
childhood.
friends and not get into the Jesus thing every time there's an issue.
Right.
It's like, this isn't the time or place to be plugging your thing.
It sounds like a good time to plug Scientology, though, which I heard works.
Yes.
I heard good things about it.
Same. I actually took a meeting there.
No way. Do they
boy.
follow you home?
No, but they did hit me up for a long time.
That's
like,
what I heard.
okay,
They hit you up
What do
forever.
You
in
took a meeting
perpetuity.
with them or?
Yeah.
Oh, that made it sound like you were using their offices. Like, just meet me at the Scientology.
You took
I
a
have
general? You took a
exactly.
general with
Yes.
Scientology?
Yeah, I worked an event, a catering event, and it was for a Scientology catering event.
Oh, wow.
And like I just started talking to the man who, like, I don't know if he was the leader of the chapter or something like that, whatever it's called. And then I went in, and it was right across the street from UCB,
Yeah.
where I used to work. And so I like took a meeting before class, and yeah, they told me like all about it. And yeah, they hit me up for a while, but luckily not too bad. But I just wanted to know, and I was really asking some questions.
Yeah.
I was questioning them, and they did not like that.
I do like these kind of stories, though. It reminds me of I started listening to Taylor Swift's album, and it's all about her breakups. And I
Yeah.
like just once I want to cut to the guy's perspective, and he's like, "I'm doing okay." Like, can I just hear his side? It's like nothing but his side of the story. I'm like, I want to know if she really would just be like, "Well, he's a Leo. I mean, look at he posted this."
Yeah,
Right.
Maybe
he's
she
a
would say that.
Leo.
Yeah.
I don't know. Chaliskis writes, ESA, she shouldn't push her beliefs on you, but you obviously don't respect her beliefs.
Disagree with that.
Shouldn't put,
I don't think it's,
which part?
I do. I agree with it.
You don't think that he doesn't respect her beliefs?
I agree that he doesn't respect. I don't think he.
I don't know that,
thinks-
but there's a difference between not agreeing and not respecting. He doesn't seem like a disrespectful person to me.
Yeah, it didn't really seem like he's disrespecting.
Like, you can not believe in, if someone doesn't believe in horoscopes, I don't give a shit. Like, I completely understand that. But it doesn't mean that you're disrespectful by not believing it. I think the word respect is what threw me there.
Okay, I think maybe we're splitting hairs, so you guys can tell me if so. But I guess I feel like I got tons of beliefs I don't respect from people, but it's not a problem. I still respect them as a person. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
expect anyone to respect my beliefs on, bodybuilding. Like, you've got to you got to put your money where your mouth is. Like, no one's going to respect any of us three's opinions on, particle physics.
Yeah, I do think that it's easy to get frustrated when someone's coming at you so hard about not
Yeah.
believing your beliefs. Like, I remember this one time, like a friend of mine, because I'm into astrology, but I'm not that into it. Like, I
Right.
won't like ride or die for it. Like,
Sure.
I don't know enough about it that I would even be able to like hold a candle and try to have a conversation
Yeah.
about it. But like,
I don't know if you meant hold a candle literally or not in that case.
I think
That's not a component,
I think
or
it's
that
literally.
is?
it might be, actually. I'm not sure. But like this one time, my friend was like, "Oh, you believe in that stuff?" Well, and then he was like trying to have a debate with me, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Babe, like I don't care enough to like
Yeah.
have this debate." But the more he was coming at me,
I
the
know.
more I was kind of like, "Okay, well now I actually do want to like."
Yeah.
Now I am getting annoyed with you and frustrated that you're being so like about it.
I'm about to learn witchcraft as well, motherfucker.
That's right.
You like voodoo?
Put a spell on
I
your
think
ass.
in LA there's a spectrum. And I think I've found like, you know, on this pod I've gotten in trouble, Brendan, from talking shit about chiropractors. That's going to get me in trouble.
Okay.
But I found if I go even farther on the spectrum, I got to go past astrology all the way to Reiki healing. My Reiki healing. Shannon's giving me scary eyes.
This is the
This is be happy with you.
this is the Reiki Mecca.
Yes,
In order to have any job here, you don't need to go to college. You need to have a Reiki certificate first.
A Reiki certificate.
I've done Reiki.
you
You have done it.
Yeah, I've done it all, bro.
Well, it's true.
It's true.
I've done it all.
Have
Spiritual
you had a
asshole.
Reiki person on?
I have, yeah, multiple.
Oh, love it.
But I think that, yeah, pushing against anybody's beliefs usually to me says more about that person. So if you attack someone's beliefs, why are you doing it? Who cares?
Yeah, it's too much. But I don't think he really
But
is
in his case, he's
scenario.
not. And also, this is not his fault because it didn't start that place. It's not. It's not like he's like, "What's up? Astrology's stupid."
Yeah.
He's responding to her. She's making this about herself. I see this as a lot like the last situation. She's kind of interjecting with it's just like somebody, you know, putting in their religious beliefs.
Totally.
And he is being shitty about it. This is stuff you wouldn't really want to say to someone who does vest a lot of interest in horoscopes. But I don't blame him because she's being shitty. It's being very self-centered.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Okay, Brendan, I don't have a read on you because you came on board with us.
No,
Seems like.
yeah, I'm NTA on this one for sure.
You're NTA on this one.
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
NTA on this. Yes. AITA for questioning my GS police and astrology. NTA. Did you have more to say?
No, I think NTA. He's trying to understand. He's saying she's not even giving me anything to work with. Like he's saying she's not explaining it to me. I'm like asking basically, and she's just like, "Well, no, you're a Leo."
Just kept saying I'm such a Leo. It's like
Yeah.
she's a one note song.
She's a
Beep,
trick
beep,
pony.
beep, beep, beep. Guys, please rate, review, subscribe. Join us on Patreon, patreon.com/AITA pod. Over 200 bonus episodes. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, where Shano is posting the latest and the greatest clips. People, here we go. AITA for telling my girlfriend she would not be the mayor of Funnytown. My girlfriend, 23F, asked me, 25M, who the funniest person I know is. My girlfriend is hilarious, and I mean that on an objective level. There's no dispute. She's funny, just not the singular funniest person I know. I am childhood friends with aspiring comedians and writers, people who went to school to study comedy. You get it. So I said to her after a pause, girlfriend, I don't want to lie to you. Pepe or Akeem are probably the funniest person I know. You are definitely up there, easily in the top 5. And then I muttered a phrase that I will probably never live down for as long as I live. If Funnytown was a place, you probably wouldn't be the mayor, maybe the secretary.
Oh.
Now, anytime I tell her she's funny, she calls me a liar because, quote, if she's so funny, why isn't she the mayor? I'm trying to explain to her that you can still work in Funnytown Town Hall and not be the mayor. Plenty of people making a living in Funnytown municipality and are perfectly happy. It's honest work. Bear in mind, not even a month ago, we had an identical conversation after she asked me if she was the smartest person I know. My childhood best friend is a physicist, and he probably isn't even the smartest person I know. How would you have handled this? How should I have handled this? Am I the mayor of Asshole Town? That's a good ending.
Ooh, yeah, great button, bro.
This girl just loves asking these very like
Hierarchical?
yes questions. And like,
Yeah, I think I
needs
like
to
they
know
got
if
into
she
the
is.
bureaucracy of what Funnytown is. They're like, who's the comptroller?
Yeah.
Nice.
You're like, what?
What?
You're like, we don't. Does it really matter?
Like, let's lay it out.
yeah.
Let's
what's
put it
the,
all on paper.
What's the
Who
branches of
is-
government in Funnytown? I think that. Listen, man, that's a tough question to answer. So I understand the difficult position you were in. I just don't love how you. Sometimes you gotta lie, bro. Or sometimes you gotta just soften it a bit. I think he was like, well, of course.
Yeah, I think like in those scenarios, like you kind of have to tell like a little white lie.
Yeah.
Especially if you like know for sure that she's like asking like, do you think I'm the funniest person that you know? In the first thing, it doesn't seem like she's asking. It seems like she is straight up asking who's the funniest person he knows. But in the other one, she did say, am I the smartest person you know? So she's kind of asking two different questions there.
Yeah. Why do we got to also rank? Does it really matter?
That's where I'm at.
Exactly.
Why do I got to play into your stupid hierarchy games? I've already, you guys made fun of me for it, but I maintain that it's true. This is a ridiculous hierarchy. Albert Einstein is a smart guy. He was like the smartest guy ever, they say. How good was he at pickleball? It's a very tactical game. How good was he at chess? He wasn't the best chess player. So is he really the smartest guy ever? Like, smart is too broad. Funny's too broad. Tim Robinson is the funniest comedian of sketch comedy.
Wow.
He's not very funny. Oh, you hated that? You're against
No,
that?
no, I didn't. I wasn't ready for that.
You weren't ready for that?
No.
Who's your number one?
Probably Joe Biden.
Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe is pretty funny. But yeah, I honestly, I got in trouble on, what was it? The pregnant lady, because she was wanting to be told, what was she wanting to be told? That she was pretty?
That her stretch marks were sexy.
That her stretch marks were sexy.
something.
And you know what? I
Or
said I would.
cute.
And you should tell a woman her stretch marks are cute if she's pregnant with your baby. 100%. 100%. And we've also agreed there's a special thing about being pretty. You need to accept that. I accept it. If a woman wants to be told she's the prettiest woman in the world, you tell her that. But not funniest and not smartest.
My
I
thing
think
is
that's
just
absurd.
like, I hear you, but also don't even open this door. There was a way to handle it and just be like, who's the funniest person you know? These guys. You're really funny, though. You're so funny. I remember being that young and being like, I have to be 100% honest all the time. And I learned you don't. And actually, lying is great. And that's why I'm single.
I feel
You've got to lie.
I feel like
lying
he
is
could have.
key.
I feel like he could have answered it honestly and just been like
Yeah.
Pepe and Akeem.
That is what he said.
Yeah, but he said, I don't want to lie to you. There, I know. Like, you're up there. You're up there.
No, the
She's
funny
up
town,
there.
the funny town mayor line is the mayor is where I think this train left the
Because I
tracks.
don't even know. Yeah, you're right.
That's where this went off the tracks for me. I have no problem with that. Cool.
Because I don't know that she in the first thing, was she even fishing for I'm the funniest?
Yeah.
The second question, she certainly was like, you better tell me I am the smartest because I'm literally asking you, am I the smartest person I know? But the first one, she's just saying,
No.
who's the funniest person you know? You think she's fishing?
I think that's a conspiracy theory. I think she was clearly saying who the funniest person I know is, and the answer was her.
How do you know that, though?
Because he brings up the other time she did this exactly the same thing. She asked me if she was the smartest person I know. Like,
Yeah,
this
but
is
she
her
just phrased
thing.
it differently, but okay, if it's her phrase, if it's her thing, then yeah.
I feel like he's not linking them in an unfair way. Because you're trying to say that she was just like, who's the funniest person you know?
She could, yeah.
I don't feel like that's what she was going for at all. Because then why did he feel so much pressure to go that way?
Yeah.
And besides, if you were objectively just stating that, then why would this be so offensive?
Yeah, I guess he knows her better, and he knows that because she's into comedy and she's whatever, all that.
This is so egotistical. I don't even ask anybody to call me the best podcaster in the world. Like, that's crazy.
So you really think that that's why she asked?
She's fishing and she can't take a silver medal. She wants gold. Funniest and smartest girl ever. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I'm not here to validate this ridiculous megalomania.
I think these guys have taken too many improv classes already. Let me just start by saying that.
Which guy? Her?
Both of them. I think this is a really in the scene kind of conversation. These guys have been.
You think this is a scene?
It's the scene conversations. These guys have been taking too many level ones at UCB. They got to stop.
They're not
wearing so much-
advancing.
They got to stop wearing so much flannel.
Yeah.
Go outside. Go on a nice date. Get some dinner. Because like these little hierarchical discussions, someday you'll look back and be like, that didn't need to happen in any way, shape, or form. But it's okay.
I think this is ridiculous. I would say if a man was saying this to a woman, I would be like, dog, I would say the exact same thing. You need to get a reality check. Nobody needs to sign that fucking check. That's about you and your low self-esteem. Like, no.
So what would you do if this was your situation?
I would probably give it to her in the moment, but it would be a sit-down conversation later. I'd be like, I'm really concerned with like these strange questions you're posing and you're putting me in an uncomfortable position. Like,
Why has it got to be that serious?
it's serious. If this was a chronic pattern, or if it was two throwaway questions, but like it would.
But what if she's saying it cutesy, like, who's the smartest person you know?
I would be
You
like,
know?
I don't like this bit, babe. Can we do another bit? This bit that's not worshiping you.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I don't know.
I don't
Is
think
it
that's
enough
good. No,
of a
you-
hill to like die on.
I'm not-
for you?
yeah.
No, you're moving me a little. That
I'm
is a
not
bit.
seeing enough
Yeah.
evidence here to think that this is all about her. What if she's just curious?
I mean, if she's just, yeah. I mean, I'll hold on. I want to explore Shannon's. Okay. I think there is a bit that I've done in relationships where it is kind of like, you know, babe, you're a goddess. You know what I mean? And if it was just playing into that bit, then fine. But this doesn't seem
So
like
you
a
were
bit.
lying about the goddess thing.
What?
Calling her a goddess, that was a bit.
Like it's a bit, it's the bit of like in the world of the relationship, like I remember being my girlfriend, I used to always be like, and you've never been wrong and you're flawless. And I'm like, well, I couldn't be right because that would make you wrong. And we both know that's impossible.
Yeah.
Which is a joke, which is a subtle way of me not being like, you were fucking wrong,
Yeah.
right?
That's like
So-
Max and I always have like, well, everything that is yours is mine, but what's mine is not yours. We always do
Which
that.
leads to a problem, like a circular logic error.
Yeah.
But I think if it's being like, imagine that like I did that. Like that's crazy. Like this is so immature. Like if I was like, guys, who's the best podcaster? Comment on Discord. Like that's crazy.
That's the second time you said this, Danny. I think you want
Guys,
people to
just
comment on who's the
comment,
best
okay?
comment.
best. It's like you maniacal fucking maniac.
But they're also young. Come on. Like I remember saying very dumb shit like this when I was 23, for sure.
yeah, you were an asshole when you were 23. That's part of it.
I do feel like maybe he might be taking it more seriously in the way he's answering, and maybe she is just trying it to be like a little bit. And so then after he said you're in a funny place, you want to be the mayor, maybe the secretary. And now whenever she says something funny, she's like, oh, well, if I was so funny, wouldn't I be that mayor of Funnytown you were talking about? Like, I just feel like there's other ways that it could be like not as serious as it's like written down.
Yeah, so
that
maybe
make sense?
she's doing
Yeah.
a bit. She's doing a bit too. I thought I was the mayor. I thought I wasn't
Oh,
the
I
mayor.
thought I wasn't the mayor, so why are you laughing? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can see it being like,
Yeah.
He's also being so specific and so literal. Like, look at the levels he's going into explaining Funnytown.
and you're in the top
But my best
five,
friend is
and-
physicist. And he isn't probably the smartest person I know. I'm like, bro, it doesn't have to
Yeah,
be that literal.
that's what I think too.
It's
like,
really
I kind
okay.
Of do think that she's
we're
just
not
being
we're not
silly.
fact checking here. This is not a fact.
Bright orange flowers. No assholes here because neither of you taking it seriously. I mean, I kind of feel like that's definitely plausible.
Yeah. He actually did say at the bottom, like, this is not really that serious of an argument, just FYI.
Okay.
Wild endeavor. YTA. These are rhetorical questions. She's not asking your objective opinion. You know the answer she wants, but you're using honesty as a shield to knock her down a peg or two. Yeah, I think it's easy to misread this as being heavy, but you're right. It's totally silly. But there is a question that we know not to answer honestly, which is, how do I look in this dress?
Yes, you got to say.
Is
good.
that's the
You
live
gotta
one?
say good.
Although I actually would appreciate, because I've asked Max things like that, baby, before, and I'm like, I'm actually asking you, like, should I wear this? Like, I'm
Right.
not just saying. I just
I'm
don't
actually
want you to
asking-
value it. Ugh. I don't want you to just validate me. I would actually like it. Like, does this look okay?
Well, yeah. So, but you have to give a preamble to
Yeah.
clear that. I'm actually asking. I'm not.
And you have to
looking
write
for
the
validation.
preamble out on a scroll.
Sign.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sign, seal, deliver.
AITA for telling my girlfriend she would not be the mayor of Funnytown. I think ultimately we're reading this as a little couple bit. I'm at no assholes here.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that as
say
well.
no assholes here.
All right, folks, we're going to wrap things up with a wild listener submission. Or no, we actually have a game after this as well, which I'm really excited about. But Shano,
Yes.
take us into this thing.
AITA for being a menace bachelorette. This past weekend, I went to a bachelorette party in northern Arizona. For those unfamiliar, this area is uncharacteristically cold for the state, especially for people from the city, Phoenix. There were around 10 of us, all in our 30s and up. Of course, we dressed sexy, but we sat on the patio, which was absolutely freezing. I believe this is what caused the booze to flow twofold. This area shuts down at 10 p.m. due to light pollution laws, and we were basically asked to leave around closing or else the police would be called. I feel this was somewhat a blame game since the waiter clearly overserved us. I pile in an Uber with another girl, and I'm balancing 3 flimsy to-go boxes of no less than $300 worth of steak and lobster leftovers. A few minutes into the ride, the other girl begins to retch, and I lunged across the seats to get the window down and shove her head out. The food went everywhere, and there was vomit in the car. Shortly after we arrive at our destination, I drag her out of the car and say, "Sorry, charge us, bye." The additional charge for Uber was only $150, which is criminal, as the driver definitely had to cease driving for the night in order to clean his trashed car. AITA for being a menace, bachelorette.
Whoa.
Okay, so she's asking if she's the asshole because she thinks that he should have charged her more.
This area shuts down. Or is she just saying like overall night was a complete shit show?
I feel like this story was written hungover to just be like, guess what I did that was crazy. But let me just say, the line that I am ready to call OP an asshole, I feel this is somewhat of a blame game since the waiter clearly overserved us. I'm sorry. No, honey.
You have to order from the waiter, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Wait.
They're not going to just give out free booze.
No, but that's not what people mean when they say overserve, is it? I thought overserving is doing that, but like I just don't really think
just
that.
allowing it.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
No, but am I
You're right,
wrong?
you're right,
Oh.
you're right.
I never see waiters as their or bartenders as their responsibility to worry about my alcohol intake.
Yeah, try that with the
Exactly.
cops.
Like you're serving 50 other people. You're watching me. I mean, who's got the time?
As a server and also as a server, I'm just trying to rack up that bill.
Of course.
I would actually be annoyed if my manager was like, stop serving them, because I'm like, God damn it.
Right.
Less of a tip.
Yeah,
you can't say that to the officer. Yeah, well, I got overserved. That's why I'm driving. It's
Yeah.
Chili's fault.
Yeah.
I just don't think that charge sticks remotely. I don't think anyone. The only maybe a very young person, I would say that would hold a little more weight if it was a 21-year-old or a 22-year-old, but like not a 30-year-old. I'm like, get the fuck out, blaming the waiter.
Yeah.
I guess I don't think it's that bad though, because they called it a night at 10 p.m. I'm like, how much are you that much of a menace at 10 p.m.?
Yeah. And also she literally like had them said to the Uber, charge us. I mean, she was responsible enough to like even have the foresight to be like, yeah, this is going to be a big cleaning fee.
I thought when she said she pushed her head out the window, she's just going to say, I pushed my friend out the window. I was like, this is great.
Of a moving vehicle.
I'm like, this is fantastic. This just got really fun. Yeah, I mean, come on, people throw up in Ubers. I do feel bad for this driver. That's disgusting.
no.
I know
so
that
bad.
probably sucks, because I think there's some things you can't even ever get the stench out of.
It's
right?
so intense. Vomit's not fun.
Nasty.
And 150, yeah, because they couldn't
Yeah, it
ride
should
for
be
the
more
rest
than
of
that
the
for sure.
night. I didn't even ever think about that when it came to like the charge. I always just thought of how much it cost to clean. I wasn't even ever thinking about
lost.
lost wages. I mean, I never had this happen to me, but I've had friends that did.
If you
And
wanna
it
talk
does
about-
seem like 150 like does seem like, oh shit, that was so much because I was just trying to Uber and now I have
Yeah.
to pay this, but like, you gotta
But here's the thing,
pay
yo.
the piper.
Speaking of assholes, I just rented a car from Hertz, and I had like, first of all, let's just call them assholes. I had like probably like 15 pieces of dog hair in my car, and they were like, if you don't clean this, we're gonna charge you $400.
Fuck hurts.
400.
That's
You're
insane.
kidding.
Straight faced. They're
That's
like, it's a $400 charge if you don't pick this up, and I was like, are you serious?
Oh my God.
And so like that's when I see the vomit thing, I'm like, well, 150 for vomit's actually kind
There's
of
a
a sweet
dog's
deal.
thoughts actually in the front seat, Brendan. That's $4.
$400.
AIT ever being a menace bachelorette. I don't think there's too much meat here, really. I think
I'm saying
I'm kind of just at YTA for being a menace. I think that's fair.
I
I'm saying
don't
not.
know.
I'm saying NTA.
I say NTA.
It just sounds like a weird night.
All right, guys. Well, that is the Sitches, and we have a new game
Woo!
that Shannon put together here. I'm really excited for this.
All right, Bride or Bridezilla.
Okay.
So we're gonna read some
Great.
things again, and then you have to guess if the bride is a Zilla or not. AITA for refusing my sister-in-law's wedding dress. No. AITA for refusing to wear my sister-in-law's wedding dress to my wedding.
So, but we're in this together this time. It's us
Bride or
versus her.
Bridezilla?
Yeah, so talk
One more time?
amongst yourselves. AITA
Oh, we're a team. Okay.
for refusing to wear my sister-in-law's wedding dress to my wedding.
Refusing to wear my sister-in-law's wedding dress to my wedding.
I mean, initially my answer is, of course, no. Why would you do
I'm
that?
leaning bride.
You're going to guess because the bride. Yeah, you're right.
So my
Right?
only concern is like,
OP
is
the
this a
bride
story
here.
where it's like, it was my mother's dress and she was dead and it was her dying wish to have, and I'm like, oh, well, that's crazy. I'm still gonna say bride.
I'm going bride.
Yeah.
We're a
Ding,
bride.
ding, ding, right.
Yeah, baby.
So OP's brother-in-law and sister-in-law are weirdly obsessed with that they want their weddings to be exactly the same.
Oh, no.
And they want them
What?
to elope on the exact same date
No.
of their wedding. And they want her, and they are like forcing her. They came to
No.
the house to get her measurements to try and alter the wedding dress.
No.
Insane.
I would be like, don't come to my wedding.
Period.
No,
that's the
don't even come.
Bridezilla.
How about this? Don't show up.
She's the wifezilla for that shit.
Yeah, no.
All right, AITA for wearing my wedding dress to someone else's wedding.
Oh, I think this is Bridezilla. Ding, ding, ding. I'm in Bridezilla.
It's Bridezilla, but it's funny. I want to hear more about this.
So you're calling OP Bridezilla?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Final answer.
Yeah.
Nope, it's Bride.
What the heck?
So Bride or OP wore a dark blue sequin dress to her own wedding that she had worn to prom.
me a break.
This is a fashion technicality.
So it was like it's like her only like fancy dress because they don't have a lot of money. So she ended up just wearing her fancy dress that she wore to her own wedding at her friend's wedding, and her friend lost her shit, freaked out,
Just because she technically
screamed.
knew.
Yeah, because she knew because she was at the wedding and said and was texting her after because the bride or OP ended up leaving and she was screaming, texting her.
Oh, come
and stuff.
on.
Wow, that one got us good.
I wouldn't care if somebody
know.
showed up in my wedding in a Blue Man Group costume. Who cares?
Truly,
I think they just wear suits. You mean with the face, the painting as well?
They have no
Yeah.
penises. Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you say they have no penises?
I don't know why.
How would that affect the wedding?
I don't know.
What kind of wedding is
I don't know. It's a weird wedding.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
AITA for don't look.
I didn't see it.
Don't. Are you cheating?
Cheating.
What kind of spiritual asshole
can't
are
see
you,
anything.
dude?
AITA for refusing to have a fully child-free wedding.
Refusing to have a child-free
This is a
wedding.
good one. I like this a lot.
Refusing.
Okay, so this one's kind of confusing because OP is the groom and his wife is the bride. So should we say that?
Oh, no, that's good. You didn't. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
But, so
it's
are we talking about is the bride being a bridezilla or are we talking about groom?
No, it's to the groom.
So say groom or groomzilla.
Groom or groom
So groom is the guy saying some kids can't come to my wedding.
The groom is refusing to have a
have
child-free
a
wedding.
fully child-free
fully
wedding.
child-free.
I think groom, because I've experienced this with my sister. My sister almost couldn't come to a wedding because she has 3 kids, and it was no kids, and so we had to have a babysitter. She had to have a babysitter, and that's tough.
Refusing to have a fully child-free wedding. So I think actually it is a bridezilla. So I am saying groom. Are we saying groom?
Yeah, I'm saying groom.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yes.
So the bride wants a child-free wedding, but groom is like, okay, can we make one exception though because
Yeah.
he has a 15-year-old son?
Oh, come on.
And she is saying no because she doesn't want anything from his old life at the wedding.
Oh, well then you gotta
She
get.
said anything?
Yeah.
Well,
Meaning the
What
kid.
That's messed up.
it's gonna be a great marriage.
Great marriage.
We're really excited
She's
for
like,
them.
I just don't know why you'd want
They're
anything
eloping.
from your old, or to focus on stuff from your old life.
You're like your child.
Stuff?
Literally.
It's a
Also,
human.
15 is not a kid. That's kind of like you almost can
Well,
drive,
exactly.
dog.
And she kept changing her story of why because she was like, well, I don't want anyone having to babysit.
yeah.
And he's like, well, he's 15 and you know he's really well behaved.
Right.
And then she was like, well, I just don't get that. She came up with like all these other
You know what it is? She doesn't want him in those photos.
Yep.
It's dark.
I
Petty.
know, there are a lot of people that like don't want that step mother or father role. And it's like, well, you know what you're getting yourself into.
I'm gonna show up at this
Twisted.
wedding. Yeah, it's gonna be nuts.
Let's do
So we
it.
got 2 out of 3?
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
We did really good.
I love that game.
All right.
Well, Brendan, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, this was what a good time.
Fine.
I mean, I think in the end, I got about 24% correct. It was great.
That's right.
Thank you so much for having me.
Listen to Brendan's podcast.
Spiritual asshole.
Asshole.
If
Yeah.
you like the assholes, and we know you do.
And at the end, we play a game that's kind of like this called Spiritual or Asshole, where I
Oh.
say some things and people tell me if it's spiritual or asshole.
Love
Oh,
that.
You guys do, yeah. A lot of the spiritual people are like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything's an asshole. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, just be a
God.
person. Just be a person.
Just be a person. Come on.
Come on.
Well, it was great to have you.
So
and
good to be here, man. Thank you.
This was a lot of fun.
So much fun.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Harmonizing.